Ah, we're squirting. This is my Toyota truck that's not doing truck things right now. It's currently under reconstruction. We're putting all new bolts on the whole front end. So we had a bolt break on the last time we went out, and the wheel kind of ka-chowed into my door and squished my fender and did some other stuff. So we put all the brand new bolts on the front of the truck to make sure no wheels go flying. I did not touch the back of it, but we are currently on kind of assembling. We're gonna put everything together and cycle it and make sure nothing is stretched or binding or going to make it break again. There's Joel for comparison. But yeah, so that's where we're at on this thing, if you see in the background of our videos. Okay, so we got a rack welded here. Oh, I almost hit my beamer. Oh, we got rack re-welded, new inner tie rod. Yeah, that's going back in. See, YouTube magic. So here we are again with a Tacoma that had a wheel break off. Wonder why. So I think the main cause of this is the lower bolts. Well, I technically broke the lower uniball bolt and the upper uniball bolt. They both sheared once I hit a jump. So I'm gonna show you guys how to properly shank a bolt, like a quick run through. By no means do I know what I'm doing. You basically measure the overall length of a non-threaded piece, which from here to here is about 3 1/4. So I got 2 bolts over here showing you how to do this properly. So if you go to here, ours is shanked, or the non-threaded piece needs to be about 3 1/4. So you see if there's a little overlap of thread. Usually you want the whole thing to be non-threaded, so it's like a tighter tolerance. So then we step it up to this bolt, which I got, which is more than 3 1/4, as you guys can see. It's about 3 1/2. So what I did to make this up, because I want it to be fully shanked, so I want all the non-threaded part to be in the non-threaded piece, is I went and bugged Harry over at JD Fab, and he made me a custom little metal bushing that will probably end up welding in here, so I don't have to deal with this. So later I can just order this exact bolt and it'll bolt up just fine. So that thing is metal. It's a big washer basically that will weld to that. Then it's washer nut like normal. Always use top locks so it doesn't come out. I don't like cotter pinned ones because I have a tendency of forgetting to put the cotter pins back there and the nuts fall out. That is more or less a quick run through on how you should technically shank your bolts. So for non-threaded pieces, try to have non-threaded bolt in here. So it's tighter tolerance, shouldn't break, stronger, and that's how race trucks do it, and everyone wants their truck to be a race truck. While I was figuring out all this stuff, I did take off the springs off my coilovers so I can assemble the whole thing. Probably see it later. I'll put the spindle back in, I'll cycle it all the way up to make sure that bump stop is all the way up and make sure that uniball is not maxing out and breaking. And then I'll go all the way down and see if my limit straps are correct length or if it's stretched, and to make sure again that upper uniball is happy, because that's my limiting factor in this whole suspension thing, is this upper uniball, because it's mounted vertically. So later on, probably in the summer, we'll get a different upper control arm, rotate the uniball sideways so we get more travel out of it, which means that we need to modify these spindles. So next version, we'll have a sideways uniball mounted in here, and this upper control arm will have a bolt that goes through it this way basically. So this comes out. Bolt would go this way to allow for a full range of motion up and down. So then my only limiting factor then is the lower uniball or maybe my tie rods. But that is a quick run through on how you should make sure your bolts don't break in your truck. And again, same thing with the bottom bolts. Top bolt, I needed basically this much shank of unthreaded portions. I got a bolt that was about, actually, different size bolt, but you guys get the point. I got a bolt that was about this long, but I cut the threads off. It's about this big because the bottom is a nut and it's captured, so I can't have a longer bolt. Yes, I could put washers on this side and bring it up, but we're trying to be not ghetto. Cut your bolts and have extras always in your truck in case you do break them. So now we're technically cycling it to see if it goes all the way up and all the way down. As you see here, our bump stop is bottomed out. We still got a little bit of shock and a little bit of bypass lap so we're not bottoming it out. We come up here and look to make sure our heim is not hitting anything, and it is very close, but it is not bottomed out, so that's good. Then take a peek at the lower, same thing on the lower, everything's clear and happy. So we're safely okay to bottom this thing out up front without damaging anything. And now we'd basically do the same thing. We'll go all the way to the bottom and make sure it's fine on the limit strap when it's all the way drooped out. So drop the jack and go down. So now, as you see, we have an issue because our limit strap is loose, but we are maxed out down, which means that this thing has stretched and we need a newer one, or one that is a little bit shorter. If you look right here, that's again what I was talking about, how we're overshanked. Then we have that, which fixes that, and then washer and nut. So that's how to get a properly shanked bolt that's not in the back of your mind saying, hey, I might break if you hit this jump. So that way we are confident to hit all the jumps. So I'm not sure if these were originally 12s or 11s, because it doesn't say it on there. I measured it as like 11 1/4, but with these straps, with me just standing on them, it was very close to the uniball maxing out, so I stepped it down to an 11-inch strap, which for every 10 inches of strap, you get about 1 inch of stretch. So that'll put me right around like a 12-inch strap is what I wanted, but guessing these are just old and stretched out. So 11-inch straps, we're gonna put them on there, and with YouTube magic, we're gonna install these. So when the wheel came off of this side, this control arm went up and broke the reservoir fitting off the coilover. So this fitting snapped off, leaked fluid everywhere. We kind of half-ass bled it when we were in the desert and put this fitting straight into there. It still cleared, but it just didn't route nicely the way it is that one. So we're here putting new fluid and re-bleeding the shock once I got the new fitting on there. So I have the new fitting on there. We're gonna fill this thing up with oil and bleed it. You gotta make sure that back piece is about halfway through there. So when you fill it up with oil and that comes back, you have room for your little nitrogen bladder to expand and do shock things. So I'm gonna show you how to put oil in there and how to get all the bubbles out, which is kind of funny to watch. So that's why I'm recording it. So you'll see that now. Oh yeah. Ah, we're squirting. So we got both sides all the way in. Yes, I'm temporarily putting air in these because I don't have a nitrogen tank and I need to go put nitrogen in it. So yes, they will be filled with air, but to properly do it, once I go to the place that has nitrogen, which is JD Fab again, we will undo the limit strap, fully droop out all the suspension, make sure there's no load on it, then pressurize that one, and that one to about 150 PSI. The thing idling back there is Craig's stupid Mustang that's making chop noises for the last time in a while because he's probably going to be killing that. You can find him on the Craig 909 YouTube channel. He's over there. Hello, sir.
I just got robbed.
What do you mean? Again?
I got robbed.
Ah, you got.
I bought my first snap-on tool.
Let me, wait, is it a quarter or 3/8?
I think it's a 3/8.
So you paid 120?
Yeah, 150 after everything.
Ah! Welcome to the club.
Thank you. Are you recording?
I am recording.
Well, perfect, because this is an announcement. I will also be starting my YouTube starting in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah? What's it called?
It's just going to be called P-Dump.
Mine's my name, so yeah. Okay. Well, if you want to find him and his stupid car, because he's the one who had the 335D that did not want the wheels to come off, if you guys seen that or haven't seen that. Yes. So, truck. We make fix after you eat Chick-fil-A. So we put some air in it temporarily. Yes, it's not nitrogen. Yes, I will take it and have it properly filled with nitrogen. To properly fill it, you got to undo the limit straps or have them at full droop, which basically is undo limit straps, and then we'll drain all the air, put nitrogen in it, like 150 pounds probably. All the bolts are tight. Everything has this fancy blue schmegma on it to know if it comes loose or not. We are about done. I'll put the wheels on it. It needs to get alignment, and then we are good to go. We got this wheel on now. The camera kind of died on the last clip. This video is not sponsored by Milwaukee, but they are freaking amazing. They're the best tools ever. And yes, I know my torque spec, based on how many ugga-duggas it makes, it's usually like, ow, I can't even hold this thing. These ones are amazing. Part number something, 2962-20. Not sponsored, but please sponsor. We got her sitting back down on a truck again. She looks like truck. She needs to get an alignment, and then we are good to beat on it again. Kind of want to rock it with no fenders and hood. Looks kind of cool. So I'll probably take it over to the alignment shop looking like that. She's been sitting for about 2 months, 3 months. Hopefully she starts. So this space is finally empty after getting the shop, because that thing has been sitting there literally since we got the shop. And there's Sir Obnoxious over there. So we got her running. Just gonna go over to JJR to get a quick alignment. But nice to see her out again. Truck is all back together on the ground. It's been on jack stands for about maybe the past month or two. I kind of been taking my time putting her back together since I jinxed myself in the Terra Crew video. If you guys didn't watch that, I'll place a link down below. But in that video, I said I had bad luck with my last truck having the wheels come off. That one had the stock lower ball joints in it still, which I blamed it on that, and me not putting cotter pins in it and the nut kind of backing out maybe once or twice. Anywho, I lost a wheel on this truck. How did I do that? I sheared the lower uniball bolt and the upper uniball bolt. I don't know if it was one and then the other, but matter of fact is I broke both of those hitting a little booter next to camp. So it was on the driver's side. If you can see, I clearanced the fender a little there to make it better, a little there, and I kind of hammered out a couple of these dents, but it didn't break too much. Bent the inner tie rod, so I got new inner tie rod, and while I was here, I just refreshed every single bolt in the suspension, so I don't have to worry about bolts breaking anymore, hopefully. I shanked them all properly for upper, lower, all the shock ones. Everything's all shanks. If you look on this side, that's what that fender used to look like. But I kind of like the other side more, so I might shave this one too to give it the more aggressive look that it has now. Or just to match it, to be honest. Maybe I'll radius that a little better. Anyhow, truck is all back together now. Hopefully you guys will see her back in the dirt on another video. So this is my first video on YouTube, so hi guys, I'm Martine, nice to meet you. So I'll be posting basically cars I buy and sell, cars that I have, all the things that I do. I go to river, I go to desert, I take this thing to the track hopefully. Maybe I'll use it more. Hopefully we take her out of her little car condom and actually drive her. This one is a 2008 M3 E90 manual. I'll be making a couple videos about this. Obviously videos about this thing, because that's probably why half of you guys are here. And then cars that I buy and sell and modify to make look good. So these are a couple parts for a video you guys will see in the future. If you guys can guess what that grill is and goes to, leave a comment down below, because you'll see it in an upcoming fix and flip video. The fix and flip videos are basically gonna be a process of me buying a car, showing what I bought it for, what I spent on it, what I had to do to fix it, and then what I sold it for and how much money we made. I'm guessing a lot of you guys might do that on the side, but if you don't, it is a good way to make a little side hustle money. And that side hustle money pays for this, that, and basically all this. So I have a room to store my toys and to work on it because, and why do I need all this, you ask? Unfortunately, fortunately I live in San Diego, California, which is amazing, but the place I live in has an HOA and my neighbors don't like me, and everyone there basically doesn't like me because my cars are either too loud, too ugly, and they don't fit in, so I can't work on anything. My neighbors don't like me. If my neighbors are watching this, hi, sorry, but for all the trouble I caused you, but I now have a shop, so I don't have to bug you guys anymore with my noises and grinding and all that stuff. But yeah, basically the whole point of this warehouse is for me to have a space that I can work on stuff, and the way I pay for that is basically doing fix and flips. So you guys will see all the fix and flip videos starting now. And here's a little teaser. Bartender!
Oh, she's steaming. Oh my God!
And we also use the space to hopefully work on friends and family's car and whatever. Basically, I got the space to hopefully pay for itself every month. It's not much rent, but it's still money coming out of my pocket. So if I can make the money from using the space, that is the goal with this place. That is a really cool line. I don't remember what I just said, but it sounded pretty smooth. If you guys don't know what this thing is, again, the Terra Crew video will be linked down below. Basically, me and James will do a quick walk around and show you exactly what has been done to this truck. If you haven't seen that video already, and if you haven't, please go take a look at it. It is a pretty cool truck. Over here, you can see freaking Craig at the Craig 909 decided to tag my truck with his truck. So as you look around, only this space is my space. I am sharing this space with two friends. One is Chaz at Wet Detail. If you guys need any detailing or basically any car customization stuff, feel free to hit him up. This is his spot. And then this mess of a side over here is Craig's side. And you guys might know him from 909 Speed Co. or his Instagram, or not Instagram, I guess his Instagram. His Instagram or YouTube channel. We got me with my fancy new-ish cars, and we got Craig with his old shitty cars, and then Chaz, who just has basically all brand new fancy cars. So we have a nice group of people. Craig, good at building cars. Chaz, good at cleaning cars. Me, good at buying and selling cars. So I guess with all three of us here, it's a good mix. So if you guys want to see more content on this truck, hopefully back in the dirt soon, or this car, probably out of its car bubble soon, hopefully, or any of the other cars I buy and sell, please feel to subscribe. And I got a lot of videos already made, and it'll be coming out basically weekly. So stay tuned and watch my videos, please. Thank you.